the previous couple of years we had been building up. We'd started picking up medals in some events that we hadn't done before. And there was just a feeling that, we're about to hit a bit of a peak. Yeah, I think we did go hoping for, 4 or 5 would be great. But I don't think anyone really expected to be quite as brilliant as it was.
Just about every member of the group we had got a medal. And I remember sitting down that evening with Rick. He made comment that this is likely to be the only time this would ever happen in our lifetime. Everything fell right that day.
I mean, the weekend started with the lifesaver relay: a swimmer, a board paddler, a ski paddler, a beach sprinter, and a boat crew. So an under 16, an under 18, and a female competitor somewhere in that mix as well. And you were free to put, to work that out however you liked. Which was late in the afternoon. It was a horrible day, as only Queensland can deliver. It was overcast, it was raining, it was windy, choppy, there was very little surf, it was just messy.
Our boat crew was amazing and got out there in atrocious conditions, and we couldn't really even see the cans from what I remember. Then we had Steve on the ski, and we had Jono on the board, and I think we went in about 4th. We saw James dive in with the boy from, I think it was Tugun, and they were sort of probably lying about 4th and 5th. And realistically, that was it. They sort of went out through the first wave. It was pelting with rain. We were all drenched.
But I remember I was standing next to Jeff Wilson, who was the boat sweep. And we were trying to watch James as best we could. And as we could see them coming around the cans, he seemed to have caught up to some of the ones in front. And I remember Jeff saying, imagine if we could just somehow jag a bronze. Fantasising, I suppose, that, maybe we could just about jag a bronze here.
And we didn't even know what had happened out the back until the commentators were yelling that someone was coming through on a wave from the back can, and that was James.
But, so James Cohen coming in, and he was swimming against, he was an under 16 and he was swimming against senior men. The only one I can remember was Malcolm Allen from Maroubra was ahead of him, and Malcolm Allen was an Olympic swimmer at the time. Somehow James picked up a tiny little wave that really didn't deserve to be able to be body surfed. He's picked it up, and he's somehow held it through onto the bank and caught up with the leaders. On the Gold Coast, or at Kurrawa where we were, the last maybe 30 or 40 metres is quite a deep channel, and you've got to swim through that. So James hit the channel, and he's swimming next to Malcolm Allen, so you think, well, he's obviously not going to be able to keep up with him. Got himself into that channel and outswam, and was somehow picking up the smallest of chops and lifts or whatever, and Amanda England was waiting on the beach.
So we really didn't see him from the back can right up until sort of waist deep water, and he milked the wave all the way to the shore, tagged Amanda, and she sprinted up, and that was the race.
Just to have watched that event and to have gone from that bit where we're saying, maybe if we're lucky we might jag a bronze, and then suddenly it's, hang on, we're definitely in the medals. Hang on, now we're coming second. We might win this, To win the gold in that at the start of the week, I suppose, really set the tone for the whole week. And I remember on the Sunday especially, there was a bit of a period during the day where I couldn't even keep up with our results, because everywhere I turned, we'd just won another medal, and I didn't even see half of them. I remember, I don't know where I'd come from, but I'd come from one of the other arenas, and I got to the end of the beach sprint track, and the under 15 girls beach relay, which was coached by Amanda England, they had just finished. As I got there, I could sort of see the girls hugging each other and celebrating, but I hadn't seen the race, so I didn't know where they'd got. So I was trying to call out to them, and I actually ran into Amanda England, who was running down there to celebrate with them, and I had to ask her, where did they come? And it's like, they won it. It's like, there's another gold. And then 2 minutes later, behind me in the water, the under 16 boys Cameron relay came through and won a gold in that, and they were kids that I'd coached, and I didn't see any of that event either because I was so busy running around trying to keep up with everything, and suddenly there's another gold, and everywhere we turned we were just winning gold medals. We ended up 4th overall in the point score, which was outstanding, given that the teams ahead of us were clubs like Northcliffe that had multi-million-dollar budgets for their competition, and and we didn't.
You know, this city of Perth was the name from the west, you know, and other clubs were scratching their heads.
To be on that, the top of that list was it was amazing. Yeah, it was a great year.
The club's achievement as a group is the main success thing. I still look back on it as it was never an individual thing. There were some outstanding individuals, but the success of the club as a group was just fantastic.
And the fact that we won 20 medals and 10 of them were gold, it was just one of those weeks where everything went right.